High Velocity Wrestling is a professional wrestling promotion based in Western North Carolina. HVW's events provide a family atmosphere featuring old school pro wrestling with a modern day flair, giving a little something for everyone. There I be. What's up, kids? Welcome back. I know what you're thinking. Man, it's been a long time. Not for me. Like, I'm on here all the time. But because I'm a social media junkie, dude, I can't help myself. I got to get my fix. As Chris Fix would say, I got to get my fix. So here I be. It's been a long time for the HVW podcast. So we're back. And yes, this is an official. There it is. An official podcast. This is episode 16, not quite 200. If any of you follow me on Tom Clark's Main Event, shameless plug time, baby. That's the first podcast by yours truly. We celebrated episode 200 yesterday. Very freaking cool. So, by the way, in case you forgot, I am the director of social media for HVW. What's up? Been a long time since I've talked to you in official capacity. And I know it's an odd time. We tend to do these things sort of off the cuff when we go live. It's Happy Halloween. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween to you, by the way. Saturday, October 31st. And in the craziest year of all time, kids. Absolutely. And some of you may be out trick-or-treating right now. You may be watching this later. If you are, please be safe out there. And if not, hey, man, kick back, put your feet up, get you some coffee, because I got mine here. How many Star Wars fans are in the house tonight, baby? Mandalorian's back on Disney Plus. That's all I'm saying. I've already watched the first episode. I'm all about that show, dude. I cannot help myself. All right. Did you come here to just hang out and talk to me? If you did, how nice of you. Thank you very much. But I'm not the only one hanging out here tonight. We've also got the owner and promoter, the man behind the scenes, the boss, okay? Not Magnum TA. But Gary Benfield. Let's bring him on. Gary, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, Tom? It's been way too long, my friend.
I know, man. When's the last time you and I have been in the same room together?
What, the last show?
The last
February.
show, I think.
February.
I think it was February. Yeah. Holy God. That's been a while. Uh-oh. How's the Broncos doing this year, by the way?
They suck.
Well, we're not going to talk about Minnesota because, brother, we're in the same boat with you. Trust me.
Yes,
it's been, I don't know about your coach, but our coach is probably losing his job this year.
Brother, I don't even know nobody on my team no more. So it's, I'm out of the loop bad.
The games are not hard to watch. Despite what anyone says, they're not hard to watch. The handful of fans that they're putting it, dude, it doesn't even distract me that much at all. Because I just watch the game. I've never watched a game to see the people. It's not like watching a wrestling show where you watch it for the energy of the crowd, you know?
Right, yeah.
So for me, watching football has been just the same. I just wish my team was good, but they're not. So
mine's not either this year, Tom. So look, we'll be sitting at home watching the playoffs with everybody else's team in it, not ours.
I think about 3 games into this season, we were already talking about, look, we're looking toward next year. So
we're going to get that first round draft pick.
I know, right? Well, listen, I don't know if any of the talent or any of the crew are watching tonight. Like I said, we didn't really announce this to anybody. So we don't have like we didn't roll out the red carpet or anything like that, but it's just been a while. I want to touch base. You and I have been keeping touch quite a bit when it comes to the company and stuff like that. So we have spitballed ideas, and we've been talking behind the scenes with the guys that we work with behind the scenes, obviously, in HVW. And we've had brainstorming sessions, conference calls. How many of those have we had? And we've been talking about what our next move is. We almost moved forward, I want to say, on 2 or 3 different occasions with an idea for an event. It got shot down. Most of the time it was out of our hands. It was forces beyond our control. it is what it is. It's 2020. Like I said before, this is the world we live in. Unfortunately, I think it's the world we live in from this point on. This is our new norm, as they say. But we finally got some stuff tonight.
Man, we got something, Tom. We got something.
Hit us with it.
All right, man. So what was it? Was it January the 28th last year? Was it the 28th?
25th.
25th. January the 25th. Resurrected. 1.
Yes.
Well, January the 30th, 2021. Resurrected. 2. We're back, baby. We're back, baby.
It's
you ready, Tom? You ready, Tom?
I've been ready. You kidding me?
Man, dude, you just don't know.
So, like I said, we've got lots to talk about, a lot of stuff to touch base on. As Gary said, we are looking toward 2021. We're looking toward next year, as we said for our respective NFL teams. But yeah, man, resurrected. The plan when we came back was January was resurrected, February was first strike, and we had 10 more names that yours truly brainstormed and ran by the boss, and either got a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and we moved from there. Right. And we had a whole docket of dates and events and stuff, and we see what happened, but we're not going to change our game plan. We've just been put on hold this whole time, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's this pandemic has definitely throw the wrench in the gear, so to speak. I mean, it's definitely made an impact on what we wanted to do this year. And man, it's so many things have changed, in my life, and just a lot of people's life. And it's just, I don't know, Tom, I walked into a bank one day with a mask on and I was waiting on the guard to attack me. You know what I'm saying? It was so weird, dude. I mean, walking into a bank with a mask covering your face.
Yeah.
It's different, dude. It's different. But, man, we've been waiting. Pastor Stacy at Trinity of Fairview, man, they have been incredible trying to get us back in there somehow, some way, but they have to follow the CDC or whatever all that is. They have to follow those laws, so finally we've got clearance.
We do have clearance.
For now.
Yes.
For now.
We will temper our excitement with a stern word of caution, because as Gary said, this is a very very bizarre time that we're all going through right now, that the world's going through, obviously. And, not for nothing, folks, but it's a big deal what's happening out there. We've lost a lot of people this year that we didn't need to lose. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah,
but
man, it's been sad.
I mean, my wife caught it. She had it. And thankfully, the only thing that happened to her was that she got heavy fatigue. She had a sore throat. I mean, she was tired a lot. And thankfully, that's as bad as it got for her. But a lot of other people have not been that fortunate. So we do have a lot of plans behind the scenes to make this event as safe as possible.
Right.
And we're not going to go into all that tonight because a lot of this stuff is still work in progress. But I promise you, folks, anybody that's planning on coming to this event can rest assured we're going to do everything within our power to help keep you safe, to keep us safe, to keep our talent safe and our crew.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. And the fans always come first, Tom. The fans come first. But, it's like Tom said, we're going to do everything in our power to make sanitation, making sure, everything's white. People are social distancing, mask. I mean, everything we got to do, we will do. But we're ready to get back at it. We're ready to put some belts on some champions.
Yes.
I'm ready, Tom. We got all these new belts. We're ready to debut. I'm ready for the ladies' matches. I'm ready for the tag matches. I'm ready to finally see somebody stand in front of our logo with a strap across their shoulder and be proud to represent the company as a champion.
Yes, and you actually revealed the title belts the last time we went live.
Yes, sir.
And that was pretty cool. And we had a lot of plans in place, folks. I can't even begin to tell you the things that were going on, matches that we were talking about, matchups that we wanted to happen. The HVW roster has been great from day one. And dude, the best thing about our locker room is they just want to wrestle. They just want to get out there and put on a show. It's not. And listen, you and I both have been in dressing rooms with a lot of politics over the years, you especially. And the only two shows that we ran for our relaunch, dude, I didn't even smell anything bad. I don't know about you, but nothing.
Man, it was like we had all been together for years, I mean, we clicked. We vibed. There was no animosity. There was no, he said it was just no drama, no locker room drama that I've been a part of so much.
Right. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. At the end of the day, folks, we're all adults here. I mean, if I've got a problem with Gary, I should be able to go to him face to face like a man, talk to him, and he knows he can do that with me. Right. And that goes for any of our crew behind the scenes. And I feel like with all cards on the table, we've always done better and we'll do better in the future because, life's too short to keep stuff balled up and to have rage and bitterness. And I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. I mean, what we've been saying from day one is, always forward, always. And, I'm sticking to that. So
that's all we can do, Tom. That's all we can do.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just going to be disgusted and miserable. What is the point of that, man?
Brother, I guess we could have come out and pushed to get back and deliver half of what we can deliver and put people at risk. And, I just don't feel like it's worth spending the money to put on a show, if we can't give the fans what HVW is. And we talked about it, like you said, everybody behind the scenes. We've conference called, we've done everything we could do, and it just hadn't made sense for us. So, now that, we've got the clearance to get back in our venue and everything's hopefully going to be okay after the election and all of this mess happens. And man, I'm just ready to get back at it. I'm ready to get our second show up and running. That's probably something we need to talk about.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it. We had it going to one location in March of this year. We are moving locations. We are not going to disclose that as of yet. We've got a couple of different places in mind. One of them looks better than the other, so we'll see what happens. But tell them about this show, man, that we were talking about for March.
Well, it was Overdrive. It was going to be HVW's showcase show. We were going to bring in, new upcoming talent. We were going to let our school trainees debut there, that kind of stuff. And it's, I was really looking forward to that, man. And it's, unfortunately, the venue we had planned for that is now, since this pandemic and everything, it's all of that's fell through. So, we're going to find a bigger, a better home for Overdrive, and we're going to keep pushing forward, just like you say.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And like you, I was really excited for Overdrive. It was something different. It was going to be a scaled down version of the usual HVW presentation, but I was still excited about it.
Absolutely. I mean, me too.
And we may still go with that idea, folks, or we may not. I don't know that we've really got that part hammered out yet. It could be a typical HVW stage setup, or it may be scaled down. We're moving more toward the scaled down version for those shows. But again, this is all a work in progress. You were talking about not wanting to not only spend the money, but take the risk, obviously, that would have been involved had we come back too soon. And I think the best piece of advice that we got from a mutual friend who's helping us behind the scenes with this company, when he said to us, look, you don't lose anything by not running. You're not losing a thing. You're not losing any ground. You're not losing fans. You're not losing anything at all. But if you come back too soon, you could lose everything.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
brother, it's a sad time for small businesses, man. And no matter how you look at it, that's what we are.
Yes.
I got taxes that I paid this year to prove it. I mean,
Absolutely.
We're a small business, and this thing has affected us, man. And unfortunately, today, speaking of small businesses, this morning, man, the Suns rode in about 4, 5, 6 motorcycles deep, and then a bunch of people in cars, and we were Miss Jenny's first customers of her last day of business at Flat Rock Pizza today, man. And it's this pandemic's taken out one of our sponsors, and it's so HVW wants to help Miss Jenny get back up and running, so let's do this thing, man.
So is she officially closed up, or is it still?
Today was her last day of business.
Really? That's a shame.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if she does the Facebook at all, but if she happens to see this, all the best to you. All the best from HVW, from Gary, I know especially, and we hope everything works out for you for sure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, Tom. She's a great lady, man, and it's her story is just amazing. Anybody that knows her she's just an inspiration to people in our community, man, and the community loves her. They won't let it may not be Flat Rock Pizza, but they won't let Miss Jeannie's business die. Our community will help her rebuild her business. Watch what I tell you.
That's great. That's great news, man. Well, all the best to her in the future for sure.
Yeah.
And, like you said, from a business perspective, that's a sponsor for us that's gone. And this has really impacted people out there. And I'm not listening. Whoever's watching or listening to this after the fact or now or whatever, we're not telling you anything you don't already know. We're all in this together. Like we said, 8, 9 months ago now, we're all in this together. And, some people have been hit harder than others. And, for those of you out there who have really been struggling through this, man, again, our hearts will go out to you. And we hope that everything that you pull through this and everything comes out great for you because, at some point, and we keep using the phrase getting back to normal. I don't know what that means now moving forward. I don't know what normal is.
What is normal?
Good question. I don't know that we know it yet.
Life as we knew it before this will never, ever be the same.
I agree with that. We've got a few comments here. Let's go ahead and get some. Lewis Osborne says, best of luck, Gary and Tom. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
You know who that is, right?
Is that Judge?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yes. Hey.
I thought so.
That's my trainer, man. The Judge, he started training me when I first broke into the business, man.
I remember
my
that.
First bumps.
I knew that we were Facebook friends, but I'm friends with a couple of guys named Lewis, and I actually mentioned a UWA before, and the guy said it to you. Said, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Crap, I got the wrong one," because I had the last names mixed up.
Right, yeah.
I didn't want to do that again. Judge, if you're still hanging out, man, say something. That's cool, brother. So quick story about Judge, man. We had this thing one night in UWA, and we were still EOD at that time, and we had this whole big thing going. I'm not going to get technical with what we did or how we did it, whatever, but kayfabe, baby. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir.
So we get back. Yeah, for sure. We get back through and I was so nervous. I was incredibly nervous. And I get back through the curtain, and Judge he's got the biggest smile on his face. He goes, "Did you have fun, baby?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually I did. Thank you for that." And I was like, "I'm sorry I screwed up." And he goes, No, it's fine. It's all good. Now in his head, he may have been thinking, "You freaking moron. I told you what to do." Right.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
Hey man, sometimes
often imitate, but never duplicate. There you go.
Hey, that's HVW, baby. I got the T-shirt to prove it.
There you go. Hey, Judge, man, come up in January if you can, man. We'd love to have you up there, man, just to hang out with us, dude.
Dude, I think that dude lives like way away now, like
really,
the United States or something. I don't think he's anywhere around here.
Well, dude, catch a plane. You can get there. Yeah, man. You and I have been teasing doing a UWA podcast for a while now. We're going to have to try to make that happen one of these days.
We got to track some of the guys down, man, and try to make that happen for sure.
Roger's online. We're friends on Facebook. He posts all the time. And
hit him up and try to schedule it.
I know, right? I should. Yeah. And I invited him on the main event back in the day, and I said, look, just show up. We'll just talk old school wrestling. He just act like he didn't care about it. I'm like, all right, well, okay.
That's
So
cool.
Kansas, baby.
Yeah, I told you, dude. He's living out there in the land of Oz.
Judge, be careful. Mind the flying houses, man. Be careful out there.
Yeah. Watch out for old ladies on bicycles.
That's right. So, yeah, man, I'm pretty pumped up for this. Excuse me.
I'm excited, dude. I can't wait to start planning. I can't wait to actually start, contacting talent and planning the show and, what are we going to do? And I'm ready to get to that point, man. So, I know we're going to have more of these coming up, the closer we get, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm excited. Resurrected 2.
And by the way, in case anybody's watching doesn't know what's going on, tell them where you're at right now.
I am sitting in the middle of the ring at the HVW Pro Wrestling Academy.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. We went before we went live. Your picture popped up, and I was like, okay, cool. That's a great background. So that works all day.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude. And speaking of, dude, if anybody's out there interested, we're always accepting new students. We got a bunch of great little students in here right now, man. Got this great kid, this new kid Cutter. Wait till you see him. Wait till you see him, Tom. Brought to us by Mr. John Matthews.
Oh, there you go.
He's a young kid, but man, the kid's got talent. We just got to get him there, And then the guys that, remember we did the open house back in February. The guys that signed up and started with us, they will probably debut on the 30th.
Nice.
They're ready. They're at that point. They've worked hard. They've worked real hard in here, Tom. 3 days a week, and a lot of the guys with, we've made some new friends with some of the guys from Urban Combat, been coming over and training with us. And, some of the guys from Tennessee's come down and trained with us. And we're having a lot of fun here, man. It's kept us going through the pandemic.
I remember when we started doing or when you started doing the academy back up during the relaunch, and there would be, let's just call it for what it is. There was some dry spells, like it seemed like there would be nobody. Then all of a sudden there was 5 or 6 at one time.
Right.
It's such an odd thing. I think a lot of it depends on, what's people's budget. And look, here's a fact, kids. When it comes to paying to train to be a wrestler, the economy's in a tight spot. I get that. And I can't speak for Gary, but I would say, if money's an issue, dude, make the phone call, contact us. Maybe we can work with it. I mean, it's, we treat our talent like family. We don't treat them like employees. And, if you're serious about wanting to train and you may be low on funds right now, I'm not saying it's an absolute we can do it, but I'm also not saying it's absolute we can't do it. So, dude, message us, reach out, and let's see what we can do for you.
Absolutely, man. I'm very easy to deal with, Tom. It's not. I mean, yeah, we got to make a little money to pay the bills, but it's not about getting rich, man. It's I want to give back. The wrestling business gave me a lot. The 20 years I've been involved,
right?
And it's been a roller coaster ride, man. We've had a lot of fun. We've got to do some good things, and I just want to give back to the business that's gave me a little, So if there's some young people out there that want to train and that may not have the money, we can work off training. Show days. There's ring crews. There's sets that's got to be built. There's chairs that's got to be set up. There's ways you can pay for your training.
There you go.
So, reach out to us.
There you go. Absolutely. Doors always open. I've had some messages on Instant Messenger the past couple of weeks asking about the website. The disappearance of the website has nothing to do with the company, I assure you, folks. We've not gone anywhere. I mean, if you can't tell by the logos and our 2 mugs in your face right now, we've not gone anywhere, I assure you. HVW is still living and breathing. It's all good. I am in the process of moving the website to a different server because if I can call a spade, quite frankly, Wix is expensive, okay? So we are moving that sucker. I didn't much like the tools I was working with anyway, and in case you're wondering, I am the guy that did the website. So I want it to be a little bit more user-friendly, and they pride themselves on being user-friendly. It's debatable. It's debatable from where I'm sitting. So I'm just saying. I thought the site looked good. I thought it functioned pretty good, but in terms of putting it together, it was more work than what you might think. So I want it to be streamlined. I want it to be easier. So hopefully, fingers crossed, by this time next weekend, we'll have the new site up and running. I may even give it a little facelift, make it look a little bit cooler. So, Gary, if you know anything about me, and you do, obviously, you know I'm all about shining things up and getting a new image and reinvention. You know what I mean? So
that's why you are the director of our social media.
Well, I've been quiet for a while now. I mean, when we got
it's all right.
When we shut down, I kept telling you, I said, man, I'm posting the same stuff every day.
Brother, and you done all you could do with what material we had. I mean, we had 2 shows worth of material.
That's true.
You know, we didn't know how long this was going to last, man. We didn't know this thing was going to last the rest of the year.
Right.
You know how we can't keep showing the same. I mean, I guess we could, but people's just going to stop watching it. So
yeah.
I've seen this 500 times.
Exactly. That's what we were getting to at that point.
Right. So, you know, and we had some ideas of shooting some new footage and stuff, but, you know, it just nothing ever worked out to be able to do it safely and keep the people involved safe, you know?
Very good point.
You know, at first time, I'm the first one to say, you know, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. I'm not wearing those masks, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, this became a reality, man. It's legit. And what people don't realize is, look, the mask is not keeping you from getting corona. It's keeping you from giving people corona.
That's
so
right.
be courteous and you know, look out for other people because they may have a sick adult they take care of, or they may have children they need to take care of. You know, don't think about yourself.
Yeah, I ranted a little bit on the main event yesterday, and I said, you know, you're in the grocery store for 20 minutes at a time. Put the stupid mask on. Yeah, it's not going to kill you for 20 minutes.
I hate it too, but I do it, you know.
It's one of those things where, like, if you wear it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, you're probably not going to hurt yourself in 30 minutes. But in 30 minutes, you could definitely hurt somebody else if you don't have it. So, let's be blunt. Get over yourselves. I'm just saying.
From my understanding, man, some people can carry this virus and not even know it, and
That's
not
true.
even have symptoms of it or anything.
That's true, dude.
You know, yeah, think about that crap, man. You know, think about that small child that may have a bad immune system or something that you're walking past. You know, that's the only way we're going to get past this thing, people. Think about that.
You're right. 100% right. But, you know, we've got some wacky science deniers out there. It's the same people who believe the Earth's flat. So those people are tough to talk to. But you know what? We're not going to focus on the negative here tonight.
No, sir. Let's talk about resurrected.
That's right. So January 25th, and I feel like in some ways we've talked that show to death, and other ways we haven't talked about it enough because it was, in my head, I'm flashing back to January, and you know what was going on for me, and it was a very difficult time, but that show came along at a good time. Keeping yourself busy and keeping your mind distracted helps you deal with other stuff. I mean, you know that for sure. And getting in there and getting set up and listening to the music and seeing the TV and getting everything, the big screen, and just feeling the excitement long before the fans, we're talking about hours before they ever got there. I mean, I'm just flashbacking in my head of how much fun that day. It was a lot of hard work, kids, let me tell you right now, but God, was it fun.
Dude, it was sorry, Tom. It was an awesome night, man. It really was. And like you know, remember we set the stage up on Friday night. So it was
That's right.
You know, actually it was two nights. Well, a night and a full day. So it was a lot of work, man.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
You know, the presentation was awesome. It was I think the greatest set HVW's ever had. I thought it came across very professional, presented nicely. Where'd you go, Tom? So, hey, I guess I'm here by myself, right? So, you know.
I'm still here. I was just trying to give you the floor.
Yeah, you panicked me there for a second because I started thinking about what am I going to talk about next? What am I going to talk about next? I thought you got disconnected or something.
Was my audio gone at the same time?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, wow. That's wacky.
Yeah.
Well, we won't do that again, kids. How about that?
But yeah, dude, I thought all in all for the first show in 6 years,
yeah,
I thought it was pretty awesome. And I think we come back and made an impact, So I'm ready to make another impact.
I agree totally. And dude, it was a couple months before we saw the video, before we actually saw Resurrected. But I'm sorry, I would put the production of that show up against anything I've seen in a while, and that's just being brutally honest.
No, dude, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, we had a few little technical difficulties with the sound system and that kind of stuff. But, you can test. You don't know what's going to happen when show day rolls around.
And listen, folks, if any of you have not seen the show, by all means, go to our YouTube channel and search for Resurrected on the HVW YouTube channel. The whole show's right there for you to check it out.
And First Strike too. The second show in February, which I think came across better than the first show. I mean, both shows were amazing. I can't wait to get back to the next one.
Well, I'll tell you this, going back to Resurrected for a minute, we did have some issues with the mics that night and whatnot. And I remember being at the commentary table, and in my head, I'm so stressed. Now, once we got past it and the show started going, I was into what I was doing and calling the matches and enjoying it and just focusing on my job. But at the first, it was tense. But I'll tell you this, when we took intermission, everybody was fine. Fans, talent, everybody. And I remember JD Drake telling us, listen, man, these things happen. What are you worried about? I've been at shows where all kinds of crazy stuff has happened. This is just nature of the beast. And so that helped a lot. I mean, you know what I mean? So,
well, me and you both, dude, we built this thing up. We tried to come across as a professional wrestling company.
Yes.
And when you build it up the way we built it up, and you start off with all these little bitty technical difficulties that made us not so professional.
Yeah.
Me and you're stressing over it, but Greg said, the people don't care, man. They're there to see the wrestling.
Yeah, because we're perfectionists for sure.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's been a demon for me my whole life, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. Same here. I sat here last night till like 12:30 when I should have been getting some sleep for the civilian job today. And I was stressing over something on the Main Event's YouTube channel. And I'll bet I went back and clicked the same 3 buttons in the same sequence like 300 times because it has to be right. It has to be. If it's not right, I lose sleep. Like I have to get it right. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got it, man. I got it.
Jeff Klinsky says 2021 is going to be a good year.
Yes, it is, Mr. Klinsky. We need you guys back, man, riling up the crowd like you used to do at the house at the HVW arena.
Jeff's on here a lot, man. He and I talk a little bit here and there about stuff. So Jeff was a regular? Yeah.
Yeah, him and his brothers and just some friends, they all used to come. And you remember how we had that wood wall built around the ring?
Yeah.
And they would hang over the wall and hit the wall like they do at ROH. And
that's awesome.
Get the whole building chanting, HVW, HVW. It was cool, man.
There you go.
Yes, sir, Mr. Klinsky.
Just
love you guys.
Yeah, man, we need the fans. And listen, we're going to start going live a lot more often. Some days it might be just me because Gary may be packed, busy doing other things, but we'll both get on here as often as we can. I'd like to start knocking out a podcast a week, even if all it is us just hanging out talking.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, we definitely gotta get our brand back out there. So it's time we start talking, man. Maybe we can start bringing on some guests to talk about upcoming shows and stuff like that.
Dude, that sounds great, man. That sounds great. Right now I'm podcasting twice a week. Thursday evenings I record the Tom Clark 6M podcast, and then Friday I go live with the main event. So we'll plan out a day to do this one too. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Gotta stay busy, baby, for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Much love to you too, Mr. Klinsky.
So, dude, is it cold where you are? We talked a little bit about this last night, how the freaking temperature has suddenly dropped.
Hey, man, I rolled out of the house this morning on 2 wheels, and it was like 42 degrees.
Yeah. You know, I'm never doing that. So,
hey, no, dude, no, it was like not last winter, but the winter before. Me and Brother Roy went and done this veterans thing on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And when I left my house, it was 20 degrees. And we rode from Hendersonville all the way to where the Asheville outlets are. And it's about a 40-minute ride.
Mm.
Dude, it was 20 degrees. I had ice boogers in my nose for like 2 days.
Dude, I remember last year us being in that very ring last year, and we were recording the video at the training academy, and I could not stop shivering.
It was cold in there, dude.
My God. I was like, God, I hope I don't shiver on camera because this is going to be embarrassing if I do. I could not get warm to save my life.
I was telling the guys today at training, I said, fellas, it's chilly today. I said, but wait till it gets cold. This old ring will get stiff when it's cold, man, because the steel gets stiff when it's cold.
You know, I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I'm sure you learned that the hard way, right?
Well, like the very first ring I ever owned, Mandy bought for me when we first started HVW. And really bought it just to train. I never had HVW. I mean, I was just teaching guys to wrestle. And Ken Magnum, Adam Jackson, this guy that wrestled as David Duke, and a couple other guys literally would sweep snow off the ring so they could train on Saturdays.
Wow.
Because it was set up outside.
Right.
We wasn't even in a building. It was in my yard.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then, as more and more guys started coming, that's when I decided, shoot, man, I probably need to find some kind of little building. And I found that shack, man. I found that shack.
Did it ever have an official name, or you just called it the shack?
Well, I guess the official name, the sign out front said the House of Pain. So, but, that's
right. That's right.
Dreamer stuff, I guess. So, or no. So yeah, somebody used the House of Pain already, and I didn't know, but no, that's House of Hardcore, Tommy.
Yeah, Dreamer uses House of Hardcore. I wouldn't be, dude. House of Pain is such a, and I don't mean any offense by this. It's become such a generic term over the years. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 200 House of Pains out there in this country right now alone. So was Judge in your ring, in that ring?
No.
Because this comment from him makes it sound like he knows what you're talking about.
Well, he's probably been in a ring that's cold,
Oh, I see where it does. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So listen, without letting the cat out of the bag, because we try to play a lot of our cards close to the vest, especially about this profession of pro wrestling. If for fans who are listening or watching, tell them something they may not know about a pro wrestling ring. What's something you can give them? Something that they may not know about it.
About a what?
About the pro wrestling ring. Is there something you can give them maybe they've not heard, something that they're not aware of? Because everybody knows everything now thanks to the Google machine. Well, so give them something maybe they don't know.
Well, I can't get my laptop up under the ring to show you, but a lot of people think this thing's a trampoline, and it's not a trampoline. This particular ring I designed. Me and David Pridmore cut the steel, welded the steel, built everything about this ring. This ring is 2x2 square tubing, 3/16 thick, with 3/4 stick 2x8s laying on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So and then you got 3/4 inch thick black foam padding. There's a roll of it right there.
There you
See
go.
that padding right there?
Oh, yeah.
And that's all it is. I mean, the bounce comes from it's an 18-foot piece of steel. Obviously, it's going to flex in the middle if there's nothing under it. So that's what you're landing on.
Right.
Steel and wood and this much padding.
And he's not kidding, folks. And if you're just listening to this show, he just did his thumb and his index finger in a very thin motion because he's right. It's not a lot of padding at all.
No, it's 3/4 inch thick. I mean, get a ruler and figure out where the 3/4 mark's at. You'll see.
And a lot of those training rings are basically just wood and a carpet like that you put in your house, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a carpet pad. If you listen real closely, I can bounce this ring and you'll hear the metal hit each other. Listen.
I can hear that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So listen, since Judge is here hanging out with us, and I hopefully he's still here, let's talk about that freaking UWA ring with the spring in the middle. My God in heaven. Let's talk about that thing.
I know where that ring's at, Tom.
Where is it?
I had that ring.
Is this the one that you traded off with the other guy?
No. When I first started HVW, I was doing a show in a building, in a permanent building, and I was doing a traveling show.
Right.
And Billy Ketcherson, the guy that owns, I think he calls it the IWA. Maybe they do the things way up in the country up there,
right?
Fines Creek. But he had a ring. So I worked it out with Billy to use his ring on my travel shows, and I found it was Roger's old ring, and Billy still got it. That's the ring they use now.
Wow. That thing still work. That thing still.
Yes, they still working shows in that ring.
I'm shocked by that, to be honest with you.
Yep, sure are.
Because when they had it in UWA, it seemed to me like this thing's on its last legs. That's what it felt like anyway. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I remember one night in particular because we had this issue. I know you remember this. We had this issue with the board slipping off the frame. And I don't know if it was you or if it was TJ, but I want to say it was TJ, took something off the top rope and landed with a thud and didn't bounce. And you could just hear a thud like that, man. And we were at commentary and I said, what just happened? And someone said, the freaking board slipped. So it was like 12 people run to the ring to make sure he's not unconscious, right?
Man, hey, dude, that's a dangerous thing, man, because the board just lays there. You don't bolt them on or anything.
That's right.
There's a trick to keeping the boards from sliding, man, and people don't think about it. You got to – all right, look, most indie rings you get into, and I'm not saying this to try to cause drama, but most of these smaller indie shows you go to, their rings are crappy. They don't care how they look. They don't take care of them.
Right.
Their padding's not cut the right way. If you're using individual boards that are just laying on the frame of the ring, when you cut your padding, you got to cut your padding 2 foot longer than the frame of the ring. So you got 1 foot hangs off one side, 1 foot hangs off the other. When you strap your canvas down tight, that keeps the wood from sliding back and forth.
I never would have thought about that. There's a secret of the trade there, folks, for you. If you've got any budding promoters out there, there's something you can use. Just as I about broke my leg on that ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear that thing seemed like it was on its last legs.
You about broke my back on that ring.
Yeah, I remember and I didn't do much of anything in that ring in terms of getting – I mean, I got thrown around a little bit, but it was nothing major. Worked one match in it, which is highly forgettable, kids. I'm telling you, it wasn't anything to write home about. But the first time I fell on my back, and I don't remember who was standing there. It was like a movie. It's like like you're the camera and you're looking up at the lights, and there were two heads that came over like that and said, "Are you okay?" And they're both laughing. And I'm like, just give me a minute because I can't freaking breathe. You know what I mean? So I was not prepared for how that was going to feel. So no, for any of you out there who are thinking, oh, like Gary said, it's just trampoline, they're okay. Nah, it's not.
No.
It does not feel great. So.
You know, and even that rope, you know, that's not the softest thing in the world. You know, a lot of people do different. You know, some guys use real rope. We have steel cables fed through a tube housing that protects the cable.
Right.
But, you know, it's
isn't that what the old school NWA used to get that snap, that sound effect on the ropes? Isn't that what they were using? Or they were using like
it's like a little piece of PVC pipe. You feed it through the PVC pipe, and the pipe goes on the cable. That's how you get that sound.
That's the best sound.
We don't have PVC.
Oh, I love that sound. Every time I hear that sound, I think old school pro wrestling, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So, speaking of old school stuff, I know you're an old school guy like I am. Like I said before, we had the 200th episode of the main event yesterday, and had some old school guys on there. Ricky Morton, Magnum TA.
That was awesome, dude.
That was very cool, right? Very cool. And dude, I don't know. It just got me thinking back, especially about Magnum, about what could have been, and had it not been for the accident. I mean, dude, we're talking about living in a crazy times in this world today. Think about it in a microscopic version in terms of the pro wrestling world. How different would the pro wrestling landscape be? And listen, you're a fan like I am, so I'm just going to throw you a little bit of food for thought here and get your take on it. How different would the pro wrestling landscape look right now had Magnum's accident never happened? Because I always believed he would have been a multiple-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and Vince would have paid any amount of money to get him. And had he got him, we would have seen Hogan for 10 minutes, and then that'd have been the end of that guy.
Man, in my opinion, you know, Magnum was on fire, Tom.
Yes.
You know, the women loved him. You know, the NWA was pushing him. Mid-Atlantic was pushing him. Everywhere he was going, he was on top. If that accident never happened, I don't think Ric Flair would have been who he is today. I think Magnum would have oversaw Flair.
That's a hot take, but I've never thought about that before, man. I really had not. He was
on fire, dude. He was on fire.
He was.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that as a kid, dude. Good Lord. My mom dated this guy for a while that would take me and my brother to the wrestling matches, like in Charlotte or Asheville or wherever. And dude, when Magnum walked in the building, holy smokes. You know, they always had the table set up, the guys do the autograph signings, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Man, when Magnum's line would be like, if I'm using your landscape from Newton to Hickory, and everybody else's would be like from Claremont to Conover. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I got you.
You know what I mean? It'd be insane, dude.
Yeah, he I think one of the things that really put him on the map when he first got to the Carolinas was obviously Dusty. Dusty was not only the booker for the NWA at the time, he was also one of their biggest stars, arguably the biggest star at any given time, but he was also extremely smart. And so he knew that by putting Magnum with him, it was going to help his cause. And man, did it ever. America's team, dude, shut up. Like
the Midnight Riders, baby.
They were
Riders.
They were all right. All right. So I was having a conversation about this with somebody. I forget who it was a couple days ago. So when Dusty was kicked out because he lost a loser leaves town, right? He comes back as the Midnight Rider, baby, right? Yeah. But when it happened to him and Magnum, they came back as the James Gang, Frank and Jesse James. So remember that?
They were the Midnight Riders.
Maybe. No. I promise you they were the James Gang, Frank and Jesse James. I remember that vividly. Look it up, baby. I'm just telling you.
Hold up.
You got to look it up. I'm telling you.
I can't. My phone's at like 5%. It's going to die.
Oh man, I hear you. But I remember there was one night because they were giving Midnight Express and Jim Cornette fits, all right? And
Yeah, that's who
Jim,
they feuded with.
yes.
The
And Jim's
Midnight
like,
Riders.
yeah, because he would cut. It's the James gang. Stop it. Because they would, I'm telling you, they would come out there and he's like, I don't know who this Dusty Rhodes is, baby, but I'm not him, or whatever.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it was obvious it was Dusty, and Magnum had that curly blonde hair hanging out from his mask. I mean, it's obvious who it was. The dude, but that was great business, man.
Yes,
great business, and that's the kind of stuff that nobody's doing today, man. And people say storyline wrestling's done. Bullshit.
Yeah.
But bullshit. I will never not do storyline wrestling. I love it.
Yeah, dude. You said something to me. This is going back a long time. We were having a conversation, something similar to this, and you said there's just something about the Carolinas that's different. It's a different way of thinking up here. It's different than anywhere else in the country in terms of how to run a show, how to run an event, how to run an angle. It's a different way of thinking. And you're totally right. Like there's a reason why the Carolinas stood out from Florida, stood out from, Minnesota, stood out from everywhere else, stood out from New York. There's a big difference. Why? And I think it's mindset. It's that Crockett, that Dusty Rhodes ideology that still, thanks to guys like you and some others out there who are fighting the good fight. I mean, people who still believe in that mode of storytelling. I think it's a dying art, man.
I agree, man. And most people steer away from it because they can't write it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You ask anybody that's followed HVW over the years. We've had some pretty cool storyline stuff, dude. And I'm going to tell you something. I got to bring this up. And anybody that followed us when we were out at the 3515 Asheville Highway building, the Salvation Army property, and we did the feud with ADD and the Destruction Crew, and we did this whole thing, man, where Manchild went through the Destruction Crew's gear bags and stuff when they weren't looking and found bras and panties and all kinds of stuff, and we portrayed them as cross-dressers.
Oh, man.
They're two big old, burly guys that just come out there and brawl and fight. And, man, that kind of stuff. And we had the ability to show videos and stuff. So we were able to do that stuff. But, people don't want to put in the effort to give you that type of product, man. They bring a bunch of dudes out to the ring with baggy camouflage pants on and a damn wife beater and called herself a professional wrestler.
And, from the moment we started the relaunch back of HVW, you and I started having conversations behind the scenes about how we wanted this, not only this time, but we wanted this in general to be different, to stand out, to be original, but be a throwback at the same time, to bring something back that was missing, and to do it our way, not to take from anybody, not to run anybody else in the ground. We just wanted to do your vision, my vision. I mean, everything that entails in terms of, I'm a big believer in don't talk down to the fans, and, because they're smart. Fans are a lot smarter than they ever get credit for. And I know that for sure. So don't talk down to them, just entertain them, which I think is what we're trying to do.
Hey, man, listen, they're smart marks, There's smart marks and there's people that think they know the business. The bottom line is without those people, there is no business.
You're right.
That's who's buying the tickets. That's who's buying the merch. That's who's coming out to your show. Without them, you can't have a show. So why would you want to talk down to your fans? Or I've never understood that.
Yeah. I mean, here's a fact. If you don't believe in your product, they won't either, right? So
That's what I say. I've said that for years, man. You know, I've said that for years, dude.
Yeah, I mean they have to. If we don't buy in, if we think what we're putting out there is like you said, we just threw. You could throw a ring up in a cornfield right now, and some guys are. And you know what? If that's your deal, go with God. I'm not slamming you for it. It's not what we want to do, but maybe what we want to do is not what you want to do. So listen, do your stuff, and we'll do ours. It's all good with me. I have nothing but anybody that's trying to put on a good show and try and do respect to the business. I have nothing but kind words to say to those people. So you and I are good. But that's just not something that – and look, call for what it is, dude. We could have done this in March. We could have picked a field somewhere and threw the ring up and just said, hey, it's HVW. And our fans would have been like, no, it's not. That's not HVW at all, you know?
Dude, you know, it's – Tom, I thought of a million different ways to do shows, man. And I finally just said, you know, after talking to you and Nathan – you know, I finally said, look, man, I told myself, you're going to try to do this. You're going to go out there and spend the money that you have set back. And then, you know, you're going to lose. And then it's going to be hard to get back up and going when all this stuff passes. So let's just, you know, relax a little bit, take our time. And when the time's right, we will come back. And we'll come back with a vengeance. And that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I just got the man you just mentioned just sent me something, so I'm gonna I gotta look around here. It's all good. So yeah, man, we're just like you said, coming back with a vengeance, trying to get ourselves back out there, trying to get things rolling again. And I promise you, this is not the last you're going to see of us. We have every intention of going live at least once a week to do an episode of the podcast, to touch base, to tell you where we are. To just let you guys know what's going on with us, to give you some updates as we go along. But yeah, man, listen, here's the truth, Gary. Freaking January 30th is going to be here before you know it, man. This year is, at least the second half of this year it feels like it's starting to fly by right now, you know?
Brother, trust me, I know. I can't believe October's already over. I mean,
crazy,
tomorrow is November 1st.
Yes, sir. Crazy.
It's crazy, dude.
So, I'd like to give them some more stuff, but I don't think we can. I think it's this has been a nice little tease of what's to come. And folks, believe me when I tell you that a lot of this, we're still in the planning stages. A lot of it is still, I don't want to say ice cold, but it's going to start heating up. But we just wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know that we're still here. We're still kicking. We're like Gary said, we're going to build the brand back up, get ourselves back out there. We're going to stay in touch. We're going to go live at least once a week. We're going to keep that dialogue open. So for those of you out there who have been blowing up my messenger for the past several months, asking me what's going on with us, we'll now have some answers for you. So, yeah, man, what you want to leave them with tonight, man?
Well, let me say this right quick. I see Smiley Feelgood commenting on here. He hopes 2021 needs a smile. Look, HVW would love to have a smile, but you got to get your butt out here to the academy and work in this ring with me a little bit. I done told you that. Come on out here. Let me show you what it's about. And then if what we're going to leave them with, Tom, think about this, fans. We got to throw this out there. Groups of 4 is how your tickets will be bought. So put your groups together. They will be limited, so you'll have to act fast. So get your 4 people together and get ready. More info coming soon.
There you go. You're going to give it all away tonight, man.
No, not all of it, Tom. We still got a lot.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Hang on, I'm fixing something right quick. You know me, always working.
Always doing something. Distracted.
Always.
Man, distracted, Tom.
Always. Yeah, it's all good. So, yeah, man, this was fun. We got, like I said,
yeah,
we're
it's
gonna do
been
this
too long, brother. It's been too long.
It has been way too long. We're going to do this at least once a week. Like I said, we got to reestablish the brand, get ourselves back out there. And if you thought you're getting tired of seeing this, you're about to see a whole lot more of it. So if you watch the main event, first of all, thank you. If you listen to the 6M podcast, thank you very much. Which, by the way, as of the end of business tonight, I will have almost tripled the downloads from September to October for the 6M podcast. So that's freaking great.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So if you guys are into other stuff besides wrestling, that's the show for you. But if you're just here for HVW, well, good God, thank you for being here because we appreciate you and we appreciate your business. Stay tuned to our social media. I've missed saying that. Stay tuned to our social media in the months leading up to January. And we're going to call this for what it is because it is 2020. Still, God help us all. It's still 2020, all right? Anything could happen. Are we saying that January 30th is set in stone no matter what? No. I'd love to. We couldn't say that about January 25th, 2020. I mean, we did, but anything could have happened there too. Right. Things happen. Life gets in the way. So, no, we can't sit here and guarantee, no doubt about it. But I'll tell you this, if the worst were to happen and we can't do it, we're still not going anywhere, I promise you. HVW is still here. I mean, if you don't believe me, ask the man himself.
We will be here, man. We no matter what happens, we can't. I mean, eventually things have to get somewhat back to normal. So we just got to ride it out. We got to ride it out. When it's time, we'll be there. Right now, hopefully, it's January the 30th. I want to throw this message out there right quick, Tom.
Yes.
People go vote. This is the most important election of your life, I promise you.
Absolutely.
Go vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for because that's not my job. Right. My job is to push you to enforce your right because, you can't sit around and bitch and complain if you don't go exercise your right to vote. So
absolutely.
Make a difference. This election's important. Make a difference.
Absolutely. Well, I couldn't have said any better myself. So let's get out of here, man. Gary, I appreciate you, brother. You hang tight.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to sign
yes,
up.
Sir.
You stick around and we'll sign off here. Thanks everybody for giving us the time of day. If you watch this live, thank you for watching after the fact. We appreciate it. Like I said before, we promise you HVW is still here. We're not going anywhere, I assure you. So yeah, hang in there with us. Keep checking our social media and we'll be back before you know it. Stay tuned for updates. We'll be back next week. Everybody, there you go, baby. Everybody stay tuned. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next time. Everybody have a great night.